Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Micki Lavin-Pell. I'm a marriage, family, sex, and trauma therapist. And I have to my right here.
I'm Oren Sukeinik, also a family therapist and a couple therapist.
And since the start of the war, Oren and I have been working with many Miluim couples, and we've gotten to hear a lot about some of the trials and tribulations that you guys have been experiencing. And we've done several different workshops for Miluim couples. And this is our first time doing this particular webinar format. So I hope you'll bear with us, but we've taken all the good stuff from the workshop and we put it all into this sort of format. And we really look forward to sharing this all with you tonight.
And you can chat with us if you want, and we are open to have raise your hands and anything you like. We want to interact with you. So anyone who wants to say anything or want to ask it to speak, it will be amazing. Oh, we can see people now. Great.
Excellent. If you have any questions, if you want to ask us questions directly, or if you want to open questions to everybody, that's great. If you want further clarification, that's wonderful. We want to make sure that we are crystal clear and that you understand everything that we have to say. Some of this information might be really new for you. Some of you guys, for some of you guys, this might be old hat because you guys have done lots of reading on relationships and stuff. So we're trying to gear this to all audiences, but understand that many of you might not know some of these terms and concepts that we're bringing to you tonight. Yes. So I appreciate some of you guys are on your own. Some of you guys are with your partners. We know that there's a whole range of different people coming tonight.
Yeah, and if your spouse is here or not here, it's okay. Like it's going to be relevant for you as it is. Okay.
All right. So without further ado, we're going to share our.
Just a second. I want to say thank you for Nefesh B'Nefesh.
Of course. How could we forget to thank our host and sponsor, Nefesh B'Nefesh. Thank you so much for making this all possible. Yeah.
So thank you, and thank you for coming and giving us the time and giving the energy for yourself and for your spouse and for your family. As we said, Micki, Oren, and let's do it.
Yeah.
So we're going to start this with a share of a presentation. And I would like to ask, first of all, if you can have your cell phone with you also, because we're going to have some interactive questionnaires also. So if you can bring it, and that will be, can we relate to each other during the webinar. Okay, Micki, you want to say a few words?
So just a little bit more about myself. I've been a marriage and family therapist for over 25 years now, and I've also been a trauma therapist for the past 15 years or so. I practice emotionally focused couples therapy as well as somatic experience therapy, and I combine the two. And I found this to be incredibly helpful, especially for the Miluim lot, as so there's been so much trauma that the Miluim guys have been experiencing, and they've been bringing that into their relationships. And one of the things that inspired me to study trauma therapy way back when was that I saw that so many of the couples I dealt with were experiencing traumas, and it's what happens is that when we experience trauma, oftentimes we react in a way that we don't want to, and we feel that we don't have a sense of control. And so by learning how to discharge and release the trauma, and by understanding the origins of the trauma, it enables us to then create a connection in a way that is in a way that we want to. And sometimes couples often feel that they are connecting in a way that where they're not really bringing their best selves. And sometimes they're bringing their family of origin stuff. Sometimes they have traumas from that. A lot of the Miluim couples I've been working with have had a combination of family of origin traumas, as well as traumas that they've received from the battlefield. So there's a whole mix and match of different traumas that are coming into the Miluim mix. And so what we are hoping for tonight is to really show you a lot about to really help you identify what it is that you or your partner are bringing in, and help you to understand how to identify your stuff, identify your partner's stuff, see the whole mix of things, and see how you can then take different steps to the dances that you've created.
Yeah. So short story about Micki and I, that how did we met?
Oh yeah.
So I was like the manager of a community center, and Micki was as young as now, and she and she came and she asked to have a class for couples. And Micki is doing a lot of couples classes and groups. And I think the picture that you see here is a few of the classes that we did like 7 months ago. And we tried to move the experience of in-face, frontal experience of a group dynamic into a webinar. I hope we're going to make it. We need your help, so please participate and ask questions and join in. You can share if you want to. You can, if you don't want to, you don't have to share. And
the more interactive you can make it, the more that you can actually share from your own personal experience, the more that you'll not help only yourself, but you'll help other people as well. And that's really the best thing, is that doing this in an interactive way, know that you're not just doing this for you, you're doing this for all of Am Yisrael. Think of it that way.
Yeah. So the chat is open, and for now we'll ask our host from Nefesh Benefesh to open the microphones. So if one wants to ask something, so they can ask.
And if you have a screaming baby in the background, please feel free to mute it.
Yeah. Okay. So first thing is, if you can take out your cell phones and join these platforms that people can, we're going to ask you questions, and we can see with the audience and make sure that we are on the same page. So I will give it a few seconds. It's called WooClap. You can join, you can, and I'm going to share the link at the chat also. Everyone. So you can go in by that. And after you go in, you can enter the code. And after you enter the code, you're in, so we can see that you're in. So we give you a few minutes to see that everyone is organized by it. I think we have 18 participants.
Wow.
That's a lot of couples.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Who is the babysitting service there? Yeah, so I hope that you managed.
Okay, we're waiting for some
No, we don't
participation.
We don't have still participation here.
Okay, we're waiting. If it wasn't the 9 days, we could play some music.
We have 21.
Wow.
21 participation. Really nice. Thank you. If you ask yourself if you can, we hope that each of you, if you're a couple, will join in, because there's
2 separate phones.
2 separate phones, or one from your computers and one from the phone. So we something ask which question. Let's see.
Let's see. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Devon.
Yes.
Yeah. So we should maybe introduce our crew from our support staff from NBN. We have Devon here, and
thank you, Devon, and Rena.
And Rena. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Devon and Rena.
Okay. So the first question is, you want to read it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what image or word could describe the impact of your military reserve duty on your relationship? Okay. So if you could come up with some sort of image or some sort of word, help us understand what it is that you've been experiencing. Should we give you some examples?
No, I think they can manage.
I think you guys are clever. You're a clever crew.
Okay, we have a few lists.
Yep.
Let's see.
Everyone's joining. Wait, stressful. Haksha.
Kashe.
Hakasha. Mishadreg.
Mishadreg. Oh, nice. Interesting. I like it. Stress, of course.
I'm increasing my Hebrew vocabulary tonight.
So,
Marchik, roller coaster. Wow.
And
lots of great words. obstacle. I love this name.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm still with Meshadreg. I like it. I think it's the tension, you're waiting that he will come or she will come back, and then,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it's that.
I think it goes in both directions, right?
From husband, Meshadreg Marchik from husband.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think if you want to share, anyone wants to say why he said
Tears.
why he chose this word, loneliness.
Misalignment. Ooh, I like that.
You like big words.
I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that you feel that way, but thank you for sharing that. That's really hard.
Juggling for sure. Yeah,
Oh,
I can relate.
Wow, so many feelings. Learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real learning experience. Nobody else in the whole wide world has had to learn this kind of stuff.
Roller coaster for sure. Stress from wife. Stress from wife. I hear you.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Stress from the wife? Is the wife giving you stress, or is the wife the one who's saying that she feels the stress? We can understand that in a few different ways. Missing from the husband.
We have a message. Let's see. Cool.
Miluim, bye-bye. Tamon zman, bye-bye. Yes.
Okay. I like it when she see the positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can see the positive, it's a good. Let's see. Let's go back. Presentation. Okay. So anything so basically we can say that a lot of emotions were stressful.
Yes.
And a lot of emotions are about coping.
I like the word pride here. Like right in the middle, we have the word pride, and right next to it, the word distance.
Yeah, but you see the big word is distance. That means that a lot of people chose that word.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even know how this worked.
Yeah. So that's meaning
Oren introduced this to me.
Yeah. And only that. And so that's mean that a lot of people felt distance. And we're going to touch about the distance. Distance is emotionally, physically, a lot of all of it. And people also wrote in Hebrew, marchik.
Yes.
How you say marchik in English?
Distance.
Distance, the same.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. So basically, that's good. And let's go. So we used a bit of AI, and we asked him to make a picture of what's the relationship between. And this is the illustration of an AI.
That's what ChatGPT gave us.
Yeah. And we related. Yeah.
Very much.
Very much.
Yes. You're in opposites. Halavai, you're only separated by just a little window.
Yeah. So we're going to ask you more elaborate questions about that now. So the first question
By the way, you guys did really great last time. Keep it up.
Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing. I think it's part of the thing that we want to have here.
The more you could pull it out. Sorry, didn't mean to speak.
No.
The more you could just really pull it out, pour your feelings right on the screen, the better off we'll be able to feel you.
Okay. So in a sentence, describe what happens to you before reserve duty begins. So we want to ask you before, like, there is a tzav magia in 10 days, in 20 days, in a month. What happened?
Lots of times couples have said to us that just the knowing that this whole Miluim thing is going to happen just leads them in absolute stitches, and they get so anxious and so worked up. Just knowing, like the wife often feels like, oh my God, I'm going to be left home with my little babies. And I've been hearing stories about women running up and down the stairs during Asakot, carrying one baby here and one baby there. And, it's so tense. It's so stressful. Getting the kids off to Gan, getting the kids to sleep at night, getting the kids the food, doing the shopping. There's so much going on. So just the thought of going into Miluim, when you have that gap, in between the Miluim, your husband's just come home and he's about to go off again. It is absolutely anxiety provoking. So we want to understand in one sentence, what's that feeling like for you when you know that Miluim date is looming right up ahead in front of you?
Yeah.
What's the feeling that comes up?
And it's not the first one, they know the feeling already.
Oh, yeah.
They know the
It's almost
stress.
worse. It's
Yeah.
almost worse because this feeling has come 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 times already.
Yeah.
And so and sometimes it doesn't get any easier, even though you've had so much experience doing this.
So when people think that Miluim is is the drug, is the problem, maybe also the anticipation of going to the Miluim,
Exactly.
the edginess, the stress that it's becoming. It's started before even you put your madim even.
Yeah.
So we
Absolutely.
have 13 participants now here. We had more. We have 18. So people are still participating.
It's great. We'll wait a little longer.
Yeah, we're just
We want to get at least 20.
yeah.
So those last 5 stragglers, we're waiting for you.
Okay, 17.
No pressure.
Okay, let's see what we have here. Micki, it's for you.
Okay.
Can you read some?
Oh, wow. Okay. It's hard because it's kind of jumping. So I start to worry for his safety. I try to prepare mentally, emotionally. Oh,
We have happy.
wait, it's jumping, so it's hard to read it. Okay, let's wait for everybody to respond, and then we'll go through.
We
'Cause
have
I don't want
21
to leave.
responses already.
Yeah, that's what we should get about that many. Okay, so with anticipation of anxiety and worry, loneliness and stress, I start to pick fights and make distance between us, so it won't hurt as much when he leaves. Wow, that is so honest.
Thank you.
That is so honest and so
So
vulnerable of
meaningful.
you. It's so vulnerable of you to share that you realize that you're the one that's picking fights, right? And so just knowing that you can do something so differently, just really creating that awareness. We're going to talk about how helpful awareness can really be for us.
It's the first step.
Right, absolutely. Happy. You're happy. That's an interesting response.
I can understand that also.
Yeah, is that from the husband? Is that from the wife? I think we probably should have had people clarify that. Okay, I start to worry for his safety. I'm wondering whether you're feeling happy because it's actually stressful when you've been returning home. And it's actually maybe even easier for you guys to be out. Maybe being in Gaza or being in Jenin feels better for you than being home when you're, with your kids and you have to actually, think for yourself and you have to make decisions and stuff. And there's expectations on you.
People also, after they came back from Israel, they're not the same.
Yeah.
So sometimes the stress is so much when people are coming back, and then all the couples are like upside down, and when they leave, it's a bit of relief.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what else we have. I start to worry for his safety. Absolutely. That makes so much sense. You try to prepare mentally, emotionally, but you end up being chaotic in every sense and strained.
Wow.
I hear so many people saying that they are trying so hard to learn from previous experiences and do it differently each time. But nevertheless, because there's often so much chaos going on, there's so many different things going on. You got your own life in gear, and it's so hard to really balance all that stuff. And you want to really be able to make couple time for each other. But sometimes the actual practical logistics of it all really takes over. So you don't have that opportunity to really create that lovey, mushlam kind of feeling that you really want to have.
Maybe that's the happiness, all the anxiety, and then he leaves. So it's maybe, you already, okay, we're in second stage. It's going to be coming back in a way.
Yeah.
Anxiety again.
It's hard to know.
Yeah. So we are feeling you, like the amount of emotion and hard emotions that you are enduring.
Yeah. I love this one. I feel in denial and go into go mode so I can gear up and just push right through.
Yeah.
Wow. I totally hear that's what you need to do. And that's a coping thing. And that could be a little bit dangerous because that means you're not really fully in touch with your feelings. Right. And when we're not fully in touch with our feelings, then we could tend to dissociate and we could tend not to really be fully present for the people that are most important to us and most importantly ourselves.
And so this is distance again.
Yeah. And that creates much more distance, of course.
I anticipate the trauma that will come home. Wow, that's hard. And not knowing if you will be physically and mentally okay. It's you have to cope with taking care of and feeling stress for yourself.
Yes.
And you have to deliberate between yourself and your spouse.
Yeah. And also the children.
This is like,
and also the children.
This is like,
and the different age children. I know some of you have little babies, some of you have a whole range of kids. I know at least one of you has a chayal himself at home, right?
So here we go again. Humor is good. Humor is helping.
Yeah, where are we?
Here we go again.
Here we go.
again.
Yeah.
Dread having.
I don't know if that's humorous or not.
Wow. Dread having to explain, the guilt.
Yes.
It's hard for the person who is also like
Leaving. Absolutely.
He's like torn.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard so many people say, you have a choice here. You don't have to make this choice. You could choose not to go.
Yeah, that's hard.
Why are you choosing to go? Even though there was so much pride at the beginning of this war, now that for some of you, it feels like, what are we fighting for now? Is this war ever going to end? So many different mixed feelings. And it feels like, why are you choosing our country over us at home? And there's so much.
It's the mixed feeling again. Like you're doing something meaningful, but you're leaving your wife. Yeah. So what you're supposed to do, how you can relate with yourself, what's your internal discussions.
Exactly.
I get really stressed about being away from home.
And my routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stress, excitement, anxiety.
And of course, there's the job side of things as well. And for some of you, you're running your own businesses, right? You have to take off from your own business and hope that the business will still be running well. And who knows who's looking after that as well. For some of you, your wives are looking after the business. For some of you, you have a whole team of people looking after the business, half of whom are also in Miluim. So many different things.
So if we try to summarize this, yes, it's like the mixed feeling.
Yeah.
With a lot of stress.
Yeah.
A lot of ambiguity and a lot of trying to cope with something that you can't cope even.
Yeah.
Because it's hard feelings.
So many hard feelings.
Yeah.
So much unknown.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing. It's so meaningful that everyone is like participating and contributing. Yeah. Okay, we have another question. That's from your experience. What happened after?
Yeah. What happens after when you return home from reserve duty, right? So now you've gone in wherever you've gone to, whether it be in Yosh or Gaza or Jenin or Lebanon or Syria, or I know lots of you guys were joking around about being able to visit trying to figure out how many countries you're visiting without a passport. It sounds like a joke, but it's actually totally not when you think about what's waiting for you over there. And there's so much unknown, of course, as well. What's the anxiety for both of you? And also, if you could actually respond this time by saying whether you're the wife or the husband, just to help us out a little bit. I think that will make things a little bit more interesting too. Okay?
Yeah. So if you want the code, we have the code here. If you want to
respond,
barcode it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
If not, we have it on the chat also.
Yep, I believe Rena or Devin put it into the chat.
Yeah. So let's see. So you think the response is going to be different? Like after the Miluim? The feelings, or it's going to be the same as before?
Oh, I think it'll be very different.
Yeah?
I think it'll be a mixed bag. I think it'll be a mixed bag.
I think it's going to be the same.
Yeah. By the way, just so for the rest of you that are here, I just want to make sure that you understand that after we do this, we're gonna give you all these tips for how to deal with all these different feelings. So I don't want you thinking that this whole workshop is just us exploring your feelings and us doing research on you. The idea is for us to give you tools for how to actually deal with these different feelings.
Yeah.
So you don't be left, just holding on to these feelings and nothing to do with it.
And we want to make it concrete about what you felt.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see the result. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, it's not. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Just move.
So you've got some mismatched expectations, learning how to live together again after being apart. Absolutely. You've just been living with a bunch of smelly men, in this, no offense. But you guys, let's be honest, you don't get to have showers regularly. You're wearing the same adim. even though these madim are supposed to be sweat-proof or they're supposed to be smell-proof
Micki
or
is
whatever.
talking from her own experience, of course.
Nevertheless, it's really hard to live like that. You know, you don't have fans, some of you, so you're living in really hot situations. It's unpleasant. And even though you're looking forward to going home, because you've been apart for so long, you've had such different experiences, all of a sudden you come back and the wife is expecting you to then all of a sudden chip in and do everything that you haven't been doing for the last however many days. And you're thinking, now I really need a break, but you don't get to have a break because now you have to go back and both do your work and also look after your kids.
And look
It's a
after the
lot.
husband that he came and he's hurt. He's like really
Right.
wounded, you know, emotionally.
Right.
He's been troubled.
Right.
And she's been, as you said, you know, over their head. And now she's like, where am I?
Yeah, she's overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mismatch expectation, learning.
I
Yeah.
love this one. There's a lot of excitement and distance at the same time. It's incredible to have such completely opposite experiences. You know that you're his strength and you want to be able to hold his pain, his exhaustion fully, especially when he buries a lot of his feelings, right?
Yeah.
And you want him to share those feelings, and he's feeling terrified about his sharing his feelings with you because he doesn't want to burden you. And that's something that we've heard throughout these workshops that we've been doing.
You know, we are like getting ahead of ourselves, but what we are practicing is EFT, and the first stage is like know your emotions.
Know your own emotions.
Know your own emotions, and
own them.
Yeah, and now, and if you ask people what's their emotion, there it's all over the place. You know, I'm here and there, and you know the spouse is like looking at himself. What should I do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to share responsibility and living together. And
I can see it in his eyes. Wow, this is really sad.
You can see the pain in his eyes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. This is, I don't know. I hope it's,
oh my God,
it's meaningful.
I can't believe there's an Azaka right now.
There's a Azaka right now?
That's an Azaka. Okay, we're going to do a little pause. All right.
Seriously?
And I hope you guys, I just heard an Azaka right now. There's an Azaka. If you're in Yerushalayim, I don't know where else. We're going to have to go into another room. Actually, you know what? We're just going to go into a very messy mamad. We weren't planning on it. We're just going to shift over there because we don't want to break up everything. We're just going to do a little pause. Unfortunately, we didn't plan for this, as we never do. So we're just going to pause for a moment and we're going to come right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, hi guys, we are back. We are back and we are better than ever.
If you are back, send us a thumbs up in the chat or on the screen so we can know you are back.
It's like some people aren't officially back. Oh, there's one person. Let's see, how many do we have here actually?
We are
We're
back.
Okay.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay, we got one person or one couple.
One couple.
Okay, we got another one.
Oh, good.
Okay, got a few more. Okay, we're just gonna wait till everyone, like, so we see that roughly 16 or 17 of you are back. Because we
Thank
don't
you
want
for
you
coming
guys to
back.
miss out.
Okay, good.
I think a lot of people are not back yet.
Not all of them. No, not all of them.
No.
We are back. From outer space. Yay.
Okay. Okay, guys, let us know when you're back.
Good. Thank you, Abigail.
If you haven't already.
Jacob's back. Jordan's back.
They're gonna wait a little longer. Right. For us, it's easy. We were just down the hall from our mamad, but you guys might be having to go out, down the stairs. Who knows where? So it might take quite a bit longer. Thank you, Noah. So how many? I think we're still waiting for a few more. I think we're still waiting for a few more. So given that we've had to lose a lot of time, thanks to the flow team, thank you, flow team. we're gonna get started since I think the majority of you guys are back. Okay, and we're gonna explore what some of you guys shared with us, which was some of the things that you told us you felt after Miluim was over, after the Miluim guy, presumably the guy or girl, presumably the guy returned from Miluim. So we were saying about how there's a lot of excitement and distance at the same time. You were saying how you know that you're his strength, but you also want to be able to hold his pain and his exhaustion fully. I was just reading that.
No, sorry.
Especially when he buries a lot of his feelings. And so a lot of you guys feel that you can't share how you feel. A lot of you guys feel like you can't share a lot of the stuff that you've experienced. And you don't have to share everything, but you could be vulnerable and you could just say, look, I've experienced a lot of hard stuff and I just want to be able to protect you fully. Right? There are ways of sharing without having to say every single thing that you did. Right. And by doing that, that really keeps your partner in the loop and it helps your partner to really feel seen and held and cared for. And that's a really important thing. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later.
Mismatch expectations. Well, expectation is a big word in couples. And we're going to talk about expectation. It's one of the more important conversations.
Right.
I think it's after how do you feel, how I feel, it's the expectations.
Yeah.
And the mismatch of expectation, it's really important.
And understanding what they are.
Yeah.
And really being able to put them on the table and say, this is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm hoping for. And a lot of times the wife is expecting the husband to just take over because she's been holding down the fort at home. And oftentimes the husband's thinking he just gets to have a break when he comes home. And that's a huge mismatch, right? Where each of you are hoping that the other person is going to be holding down the fort. And that doesn't feel very fair to anybody. Unfortunately, we're not living in a luxurious place where we could have outside help as much as we would like. And that creates a lot of tension and strife. Right.
Living how to live together again.
Yeah. Right. We talked about that before.
Yeah.
Right. We're used to living in very different environments.
Challenges and hurdles on the couple with the plus of the family, the economical situation, the security situation. And of course, some of them are back with not the same, with different thoughts about what happened there and how to share it and whom to share it with. And to be coping again, like nothing happened, it's something that it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Just to say that.
I like this one that on the one hand, we became closer. On the other hand, I felt so much stress that I was getting so irritated by every little thing. And that's a very common trauma stress response, right? Lots of times when people experience PTSD or some sort of trauma, you're feeling hypervigilant, you're feeling a whole lot of different things. We're going to talk about that also. And so those little things can really cause you to not be able to take things as calmly and as easily as you were before. And so what you need to do is you need to learn how to really release the tension and release the stress. And that's not something that everyone naturally knows how to do. Yeah. Okay. And there's a lot of new changes, a lot of different things happening. A lot of you guys are having babies throughout this thing. And a lot of you guys have gone away where you had a newborn and then you come back and then that newborn is now 6 months old. You've missed out on the whole beginning of your child's life. And it's really hard to play catch up when you haven't even had a connection with that child or each of your children, your little children, your little 2-year-olds now 2.5, or your 3-year-olds, whatever it is, those little ones, they grew up so fast and things change so much and you miss out on so much. And then the child has to relearn who you are. And then that creates a whole shift in the family dynamic as well, where they're used to, saying they want Ima, and they don't even know who Abba is.
Okay, we have the 3R: repair, reconstructions, and reconnecting.
Yes.
Yes.
I can guess who that is.
Okay.
I won't say who it is, but thank you.
Okay. And this is a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to going back to work. Have to figure out how to be full-time father and husband again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important that the men or the women that are sharing the burden of not just being away, but being back again, and the expectation from themselves and from the wife and from everyone else to be fully on. Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to take a moment to breathe and take some time to myself, since I have been operation 200%, while also trying to understand of his needs.
Mhm. Right. So this
Yeah.
is probably the wife speaking, right? So she's been operating at 200%, meaning she's probably been dealing with the home front and dealing with the work front. And then all of a sudden having to deal with, deal with his, deal with having somebody else, there, meaning the husband. Revenge from the wife. What was that? Revenge from the wife because I was away. Ooh, yeah,
Ouch.
that sounds
Yeah.
very, very painful.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's happened. I have to normalize it and say that's, after someone is hurt for a long time, he not willing or not like consciously wants to have a repair. He wants to have something that people will acknowledge his hurt.
yeah,
And acknowledge his hurt sometimes is hard because you don't feel that you did something wrong. And how do you acknowledge something that you didn't do wrong and someone is hurting?
absolutely.
Yeah. Extreme relief, husband.
Mm,
That's nice.
yeah,
An adjustment period. I need to realign myself to society.
yeah. Feeling that a huge weight has been removed. Absolutely. My God.
Relief and appreciation. Well,
Yeah.
we see a
Such a
mix.
mix.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we're here, because of the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need to really create space and acknowledge all the different feelings that you guys are experiencing, because there's no right answers here. Every single thing that you guys are experiencing, they're all real and they're all legitimate. And we got to really make space for all the different feelings that are here.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, since October 7th,
Sorry. Just thank you. Thank you everyone
oh,
thank you everyone for participating and writing it
yes.
down. I think it was, Micki said a few times, it's meaningful for the whole group here
Yeah.
to have the same experience or close-like experience, and people seeing that what's happening in their own home, it's not different from other homes. It's giving a feeling of, maybe I'm okay. Maybe it's not just us.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
situation is crazy.
It's an insane situation that nobody should have to be under. And it's definitely nothing is move on may love here. And yeah, we just have to really normalize our experience and realize that this is what's happening. These are the different feelings that are on the board here. And there's such a mix and such a range. And there's relief, and then there's fear, and then there's rejection, and then there's hurt, and there's pain, and there's caring so much. And so it's so normal that you have all these different feelings. So basically, since October the 7th, maybe you felt rejected or unloved by your partner, because a lot, like we said, a lot of the Miluim guys, and this is something actually hasn't really been mentioned, a lot of the Miluim guys have shared with us that they don't even, some of them don't even want to come home because they just don't even know how to reconnect. They don't even know what they're coming home to. Some of them have, some of you guys might have felt really alone, right? Because you haven't really, because a lot of you have been surrounded by people who haven't had partners who are Miluim. So they've been going on happy dappy with their own lives, but you might have been one of the few people in the gun who hasn't had a partner, you might have been the only one who's had a partner in Miluim, whereas everybody else, you look at society and you feel like everybody else is kind of moving along. You might have felt like no matter what you do, nothing is good enough for your partner. You might feel hypersensitive, that every single change sets you off. Or you might be even questioning your connection with your partner and wondering, how are we going to get back on track? Right? We've experienced such a tremendous gap in our experiences. How are we going to traverse this gap? How are we going to find some sort of common language that we can share that can help us feel connected once again?
The distance again.
How are we going to not have that distance?
Yeah, the bridge.
How are we going to bridge the gap from the
bridge,
distance?
yeah.
Exactly. And so what we're going to look at tonight is we're going to look at, what do you do when you're feeling unsafe or unheard in your marriage? And we're going to look at different examples of triggers that might block your love. And we're going to look at what different actions you as couples might be taking that might be getting in the way of love. And we're going to look at how we're going to re-engage and reconnect, how we're going to bridge that gap that we were just talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you a small clip from a movie called The Breakup. Jennifer Aniston after the Houthim is always nice. And we are showing this clip because we want to to see that before you went to Miluim, there was also like difficult and problems and situation that you had to cope with. And so that's why we are showing you a normal situation from a couple. Oh, sorry. Exit. Stop share again and share. And screen share. No, it's not here. Stop share. And basically, we're going to see a normal fight between a couple. I think this is it.
Was that the one?
No, I think from here I can do that, and I can exit the full screen.
Okay, we just need a few moments just for the technical side of things. This is where webinars get a little bit complicated when we're trying to, oh, there we go.
Here we go.
There we are. Yofi.
I hope there's not going to be a commercial.
I'm sure there will be. That's okay. We'll press skip. So this is a scene from the movie The Breakup between Jennifer Aniston and somebody else.
Oren, we can't hear.
Oh, you have to share. Stop. Wait. Okay, I think what we, sorry. You have to share the. Okay, sorry about that. Hold on. I think we forgot to share the sound.
No, I think we did.
No, they can't hear.
Okay.
So that means we forgot to share the sound.
Let's see.
Okay, sorry, hang on one sec. We just gotta go and share the sound. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting us know. There we go. Gotta share the sound. That's the trick.
We clicked it before.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. All right, but
Okay.
as we're watching this, if you guys can sort of identify whether you guys can relate to either the husband or the wife, sometimes the husbands might be able to relate to even the way that the wives are. So try to pick out which sort of moves you guys usually make in your own fights.
Well, I'm gonna go do the dishes.
Cool.
It'd be nice if you helped me.
No problem. We'll get them a little bit later. I'm just gonna hit the streets here for a little bit.
Gary, come on. I don't want to do them later. Let's just do them now. Take 15 minutes.
Oh, honey, I am so exhausted. I just honestly want to relax for a little bit. If I could just sit here, let my food digest, and just try to enjoy the quiet for a little bit. Get some, get some, get some. That's what happens. And we will, we can clean the dishes tomorrow.
Gary, you know, I don't like waking up to a dirty kitchen.
Who cares?
I care, all right? I care. I busted my ass all day cleaning this house and then cooking that meal, and I worked today. It would be nice if you said thank you and helped me with the dishes.
Fine. I'll help you do the damn dishes.
Oh, come on. You know what? No, that's not what I want.
You just said that you want me to help you do the
I
dishes.
want you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I want to do dishes?
I want you to want.
Why?
See, that's
Favorite
my whole
line.
point.
Yeah.
Let me see if I'm following this, okay? Are you telling me that you're upset because I don't have a strong desire to clean dishes?
No, I'm upset because you don't have a strong desire to offer to do the dishes.
I just did.
After I asked you.
Jesus, Brooke, you're acting crazy again.
Don't you call me crazy. I am not crazy.
I didn't call you
And
crazy. I
there
didn't
you
call
go.
you crazy. No, I didn't. I said you're acting crazy.
You know what, Gary? I asked you to do one thing today, one very simple thing, to bring me 12 lemons, and you brought me 3.
God damn it. If I knew that it was going to be this much trouble, I would have brought home 24 lemons. Even 100 lemons. I know what I wish? I wish everyone that was at that goddamn table had their own little private bag of lemons.
Gary,
How
it's
does
not
that-
about the lemons.
Well, that's all you're talking about.
I'm just saying it'd be nice if you did things that I asked. It would be even nicer if you did things without me having to ask you.
And this is without Miluim.
Yeah.
Well, I do seem to remember doing something for you this morning without you asking.
Gary, come on.
I'm
You know what?
serious.
No,
Come
I'm
here.
serious.
am
I
too.
really am. Come on, you knew
Look at
I
Gary,
was
he's
working
trying to
today and I
approach her,
made that
and
meal
look
and
what
you could
Jennifer
have thought
is
to
doing.
yourself, you know what you could have said? Yeah, I think I'm gonna get Brooke some flowers.
You said on our very first date that you don't like flowers, that they're a waste of money.
Every girl likes flowers, Gary.
You say that you don't like flowers. I'm supposed to take that to mean that you do like flowers?
Look at
This
the
is not
body
about-
language
You're not.
and the faces.
Dad, you're not getting it. You're not getting this, Gary. Okay, it's not about the lemons. It's not about the flowers. It's not about the dishes. It's just about, how many times do I have to drop hints about the ballet?
You know I can't Brooke, come here. We talked about the damn ballet. I hate the goddamn ballet. You got a bunch of dudes in tights flopping around for 3 hours. It's like a medieval techno show. It's a nightmare. I sit there in a sweat. The whole thing. I do. Wondering when the hell's the goddamn nightmare gonna end? Go to a damn ballet.
It's not about you loving the ballet, Gary. It's about the person that you love loves the ballet, and you wanting to spend time with that person.
Not when they're at the ballet?
Okay, forget the ballet. Forget the ballet. We don't go anywhere together.
We just went to Ann Arbor together.
To Ann Arbor. To the Michigan Notre Dame game. You think screaming drunk kids and leprechauns doing backflips, that's fun. That's fun for me. Come on, man. I did that for you. How do you show up for me?
I'm up on the bus every
They're
goddamn
really,
day for
Come on.
you.
doing
I
tit for
busted
tat,
my ass to be the
right?
best tour guide in the damn
We're not
city
beating each
so I
other.
can make enough money to support both of us, and hopefully you won't have to work one day.
Blaming
I want to
and,
work.
All I ask, Brooke, is that you show a little
Criticizing.
bit of appreciation. That I just
Blaming
get
and
20 minutes to
criticizing.
relax when I come home instead of being attacked with
game.
questions
Yeah.
and nag the whole damn thing.
You think that I nag you?
That's all you do! All you do is nag me. The bathroom's a mess. Your belt doesn't match. Hey, Gary, you should probably go work out. Nothing I ever do is ever good enough. I just want
Okay.
to be left the hell alone.
Yeah, everything falls apart.
Really? Is that what you want, Gary? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
Fine, great. Do whatever the hell you want. You leave your socks all over this house, dress like a pig, play your stupid ass video game. I don't care. I'm done.
What?
I am done. I don't deserve this. I really do not deserve this. I deserve somebody who gives a shit. I'm not spending one more second of this life with some inconsiderate prick. You're a prick.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to end. Okay,
Okay, so
all right. So when the tensions are high,
and anyone has comments, you can share the comments about these pictures, but basically what we want to say is that what we see here, it's called the dance. And basically you have Jennifer.
Imagine being
Sorry.
we could stop share and then reshare, I think.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Let's stop share, and then we're gonna
I'm-
get back to the,
I'm trying to do both things in one play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's it,
yeah,
no?
that's good.
no,
No,
that one.
no, it's not that one. Just a second.
Sorry. But
Okay.
anyway, so what we're talking about here is that we get into these dances where each of us, when we get triggered, then we're off to the races and we start to just scream and shout at each other. And we start to we try to figure out who's the one that started this whole thing. But when we get into that whole mess of who's the one that starts and who's the one that's at fault, that's where everything falls apart. As opposed to understanding that we've had a misunderstanding, that we've been triggered by something, that we're scared. And rather than being able to drop down into our vulnerable place and talk about our fears, when we talk about things from an angry place, right? That's our secondary emotion as opposed to our primary emotion. That's when we really miss each other.
And
Yeah.
okay, so basically what we saw here is a withdrawer and a pursuer.
Right.
And one of the things that we want you to know and get the knowledge about this in this webinar is the pursuer-withdrawer cycle. So each one of us is sometimes a pursuer, somewhere a withdrawer.
Yeah.
And where we in this cycle, we are acting as Jennifer Aniston and Gary.
Yeah.
And basically the first thing we want you to know is, are you a pursuer or are you a withdrawer?
Yeah.
So there is a small questionnaire, really 10 questions
Yeah.
that you can figure it out. Are you a withdrawer or are you a pursuer? I'm going to link, to give you in the chat
A link.
a link. And you can just, each one of you can do this small,
Wait. I think that, okay. Yeah.
each one of you can do this small
quiz.
And after that, we are going to ask you
Which one you are.
which one you are.
Yeah, and the more aware you are of which one you are,
Exactly.
the more that you can have the luxury of being able to take different steps and also understand what's fueling your dynamic,
Yeah.
right? That's often the pursuer has one approach, the withdrawer has another approach. In this past video,
Yeah.
just linking it back to this past video, what we got to see was Jennifer seemed like the pursuer, and initially Gary was withdrawer, but by the end, they were both pursuing,
Yeah.
right?
And that dynamic of withdrawer pursuer, or in Hebrew rodef nasog, we're going to figure it out how we can act in this dance, because there is a dance here. One is doing something, the other one is reacting, and the reacting and the emotions that come with the reactions are also contributing a lot for the other reactions. And of course, it's sitting down on others' past events and past
Experiences.
Yeah. So this is why we want you to know if you are a withdrawer or pursuer. So after you finish the questionnaire, we're going to kindly ask you to go back to the WeClap app, and then answer the questions. Are you a withdrawer or are you a pursuer? So we can
Know who we're talking to.
know who we're talking to, and you can relate.
Yeah.
So I hope that you are okay with doing this questionnaire. And I want you to know that it's important us to know that you can be a withdrawer one time and a pursuer one time. It depends on the subject. If the subject is more meaningful for you, so you're going to be more pursuing.
Yeah.
If you are on the you don't care enough, so you're going to be more a withdrawer, a distancer also. That's the one, the other word they're saying. And in that, and this game or this dance, as we call it, is looping.
Yeah.
Is all the time is looping. So let's see.
And classically, a woman is usually the withdrawer when it comes to things like having to do with household duties and chores and things like that. And oftentimes the man's the withdrawer in that situation. And oftentimes, and it's not always this way, the man might be the pursuer in the bedroom area, and the woman might be the withdrawer. Or sometimes the roles are reversed.
The roles are reversed, and it depends on time and situation.
And what's important to you.
And by the way, these roles, we're going to maybe after that, when you're going to be in attachment styles,
yes,
we're going to address that also, because the attachment style is also if you are more anxious, you will be more pursuer. So that's also something we're going to touch.
But we'll explain that in a moment. We don't want to overwhelm you with information.
Yeah, so much fun is waiting for us. So we have between now, we have 5 people who's doing the poll. We have 2 withdrawers and 1 pursuer.
Wow, that's unusual. It's usually the other way around. Usually pursuer is all. And pursuer.
And what's interesting also, if you're going to ask.
There we go.
Yeah,
that looks right. Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah. And it's also important to know your spouse, like main, is she a withdrawer, is she a pursuer? So you can now relate to each other and understand what's the initial outcome of the initial start of the discussion. If you're a pursuer, what you're looking for, we're going to address it, is more like connections, security. And if you're a withdrawer, what you're looking for is more less criticizing, less blame, more logic. This is the withdrawer.
And less feeling like a failure.
Exactly. So we have already 13 people who are participating in that. And if you want to comment in the chat if you're surprising that you're a pursuer or a distancer, that will be interesting for us to know. Yeah. And
this is something that you didn't know about yourself. Did you think that you were really more of a withdrawer than a pursuer, or the other way around?
Yeah. Another cycle that we have between the withdrawers, we have the attack and the defense. This is another circle that we have. It's between the attack and the defense. She is attacking, she is defending. So basically, these two circles is something that's happening, and we want you to be aware of it. And after you're being aware of it, we're going to address it. What we can do about it.
How do we deal with it?
How we do it.
How do we deal with it differently in a way that's going to help you not get into those cycles and not get into those fights?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
60-40.
60-40.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
That's about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Anyone told
know
us
if
in the
everybody looks like-
chat if this was a surprise for him or not? No, no one told us.
No one's surprised?
No surprised?
No surprises. Everyone knew. Thank you. Thank you.
Meaning goodbye?
Do you want to elaborate on that? Thank you for letting me know that I'm a pursuer now. Thank you for letting me know I'm a withdrawer. Thank you for, if you could elaborate, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
Okay.
have any questions? Well, actually, we're gonna answer your questions right now.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we have the pursuer cycle. So both couples are pursuing. Basically, we're going to be a lot of dramatic things. The pursuer are going to be, both of them are fighting for attention, fighting for being in control, for fighting for having enough security in the relationship. The pursuer is going to be flammable. People are really emotional. People are more in a way screaming and acting. And the pursuer is people that are, both of them ask the other side to be more in touch, in touch with them, to know what they're feeling.
There's this deep longing that the pursuer has to be seen and to be known and to be acknowledged. And when their partner isn't trying to see them and trying to ask questions about them and really try to know them, that makes them feel really uncared for. And when they feel uncared for, they go on the attack and they start to ask questions, but they ask questions in a way that sounds hypercritical. And that can feel very threatening to the other person.
Because they want to feel secure.
But it's really coming from a place of protection.
Yeah. The withdraw, as you see in the picture, both of them are in distance. We don't see a lot of couples like that. This is really...
I see quite a few.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see quite a few.
This is really difficult because if we have two withdraw in the couple, there's no one who's making the connections. Everyone is like feeling hurt and feeling abandoned and alone. And the withdraw it's I don't see it a lot, but this is really a difficult part. In this situation, people are feeling alone, as you said. People don't have connection. People are feeling inadequate, unappreciated. Failures. Yeah.
A lot of hurt feelings.
Exactly.
And when we have a withdraw in our room, lots of times what we hear is silence. And each one is waiting for the other one to show up. And the reason why people do the withdraw move is because the only way that they really know how to protect themselves is to just shut down, because somehow they learned from the family of origin that they grew up with is that it's not safe to really share how you feel.
Also, it's not safe maybe with the other spouse, with the ben zug, to share, because there's going to be more blame. And so they decided to withdraw. And as you said, mostly it's more men withdrawing.
Usually.
Yeah.
But I've seen the opposite as well, for sure. Okay,
and the pursuer withdrawer, it's most people that I see in my clinic is pursuer withdrawer. And also it's I also have to say it's something that happened. It's a dynamic that you can change. Okay, you can be more aware that you pursue and why you pursue, and you can be aware why you withdraw. And the knowledge of you being pursuing now and you being withdrawing now, it's part of what we call the fixing cycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the most classic. The pursue withdraw is the most classic thing that we would see in our office, where one is pursuing and the other one is pulling back. And the more that the withdrawer pulls back, the more that really fuels the cycle. We're going to talk about that.
We're going to see it now.
Ahead of myself.
We're going to see it now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I forgot we actually had a slide for this. So basically, as we said, the pursuer is really interested in connection. And when they don't receive that connection and they don't receive a response, to the needs in the way that they expect, then they see that as they might experience it as criticism, or they might fear separation. So basically at the top of the screen here, the top yellow, I don't know if you can see the top yellow there, the pursuer feel anxious and they feel a lack of confidence. And so what then they then do is that they express this very difficult feeling as a demand. They express their longing as a demand in hopes of gaining security. And when they express it in that very demanding, shouty, angry sort of way, the withdrawer then reacts in a defensive way and they pull away. And the more the withdrawer pulls away, the more the anxiety rises and the pursuer responds with an attack. And then when they respond in an attacky sort of way, they might be blamey or shamey or who knows what, they might, really get the big guns out. Then the withdrawer avoids and disconnects. And the more the withdrawer avoids and disconnects, the more they feel that whole cycle all over again.
Exactly.
And this
And
goes on and on.
And they're doing it all the time with different topics, with different subjects.
Yeah.
And most of it on the same subject.
Yeah.
Most of the time on the same subject.
Mm.
And we want you to understand that each of you can understand why he's withdrawing, why is he pursuing, and control his by understanding, controlling the way that he's acting. If you are a pursuer and you're blaming or criticizing, you can understand why you're doing it. And why you're doing it, we're going to...
Yeah, we're going to talk about why we do that.
Yeah.
I'm just checking to see if there was another question. Are couples always one of each?
No.
Well, you're usually either a pursuer or a withdrawer. So you could be a pursue couple, a withdraw couple, or a pursue-withdraw couple. But yeah, usually you're going to be one way or the other.
Yeah, and this is the cycle. This is why it's happening like a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But you can be in one subject, you can be a withdrawer, and one subject you can be, as you said, for example, for physical attractions, the man it can be in life is a withdrawer, but in the bed is really like a pursuer.
And that's not always that way.
Yeah, but that's something.
It's it's just classically what we see in our practices. Okay.
Okay. So we're having, and we didn't think that they're going to be a chutim in the happening. So we're thinking now to take a break and to send you to the break with another knowledge that can help you in your couples. And this some of you mostly heard about it, the 5 languages of love. And Micki, what do you think? We can do another break, or?
I think we've got to make up for some time, but how about we ask you guys, do we do a poll here? We do a poll or something and ask you guys if you want a break or whether we could steam ahead? How are you feeling? I'm sure a lot of you guys want to get to sleep at a normal time, and we're going to be finishing up around 10:30. How are you feeling?
Okay, so this is, we can maybe relate to it after, but this is no break.
No break, yeah. I think you guys just want to steam ahead and get through this.
Okay.
Okay, hang on a second. I just got to change the air conditioning situation here.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, there's a test. It's called 5 Languages of Love. It takes like 5 minutes. So we thought we're going to have a break, but because we are behind times, we're going to relate for that after people going to answer the questions. I gave the
link
in the chat. So this is it. And tell me if you are in it. You see it? Yeah, you can see it. Okay.
Yeah. You guys are getting in there? I see 25 of you in there, looks like. Okay.
Okay, it's going to take them some time. So maybe.
So basically there's 5 love languages. We'll just talk a little bit about it as you guys are filling it out. Some of you are familiar with this. It's something that was created by, the concept was created by Gary Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the 5 love languages are 5 different ways that people classically show their love for one another. So there's acts of service, gift giving, physical affection, words of affirmation, and quality time. And this is a hard question because I think I'm actually 4 out of the 5. I actually, it's very hard
There's
for
one
me.
that you more, but it changes
Yeah,
sometimes.
so it does change from time to time. But yeah, I guess if I had to choose one of them, I could probably choose. Yeah,
And
I could
this,
do that.
we want you to know that because we want you
Whoa, quality time.
quality time.
Yeah.
Okay. We want you to know that is we want you to know your cycle about the withdrawal pursuit. We want you to know your love language and your spouse love languages so you can interact with them correctly and understand where they're coming from.
Mhm.
So this is also a very unique and useful tool and information that can help you understand how
Mhm.
and why your spouse or your husband or your wife is acting that way and what does he want from you and how you can relate to him more considerably accurately.
And what's really challenging with the love languages, I know for myself, for instance, let's say words of affirmation is my love language, and for my husband, acts of service is his love language.
That's mine also.
Your
Acts of service.
acts of service. That's a very classic thing, by the way. I hear this so much from the women that the women is words of affirmation and the husband's acts of service, and or sometimes physical affection. And the interesting thing is that we often want to give what we want for ourselves, right? So for me, as words of affirmation is my love language, that comes very easily to me. I find it very easy to say nice things to my husband, but what he really wants is he wants me to do the dishes or do the stuff, do things for him, make him dinner, right? Those are the things that make him feel loved. And for me, I just want to say nice things and not have to work so hard.
Yeah.
So we have to really the point of the love languages thing is to understand what your love language is and what your partner's love language is, and be able to really bridge the gap between those two and understand that just because what makes you feel loved is not what makes your partner feel loved.
And this is also something that you learn. It's a language that you can understand. It's a language that you can teach yourself and teach your spouse.
Mhm.
And
It doesn't come easily.
it doesn't come easily, but all of those things can help you as you come the challenges of Miluim. If you have this basics of knowing the cycle, knowing if you're a drawer, know your love languages can help you when you come to the challenges as we saw with to Miluim. So I think we can move, right?
We can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you guys aren't so into that one. All right.
Okay.
You can revisit that.
Okay, so how to repair and take responsibility. So we said it's first of all self-awareness. Know what you're feeling, know what's upsetting you, and know how to say it. Okay. And when you say it without criticism. Say with an I in a sentence. I feel that that I'm insecure. Not you are feeling, you make me insecure, that I feel insecure.
Like when you say X, Y, Z, that makes me feel insecure. Because when we say it from that place, we just feel it feels a lot less threatening to the person that we're speaking to.
Okay. And as we saw on the short film, always look at the big picture. It's not about the lemons. It's not about the who is doing the dishes. It's about what's keeping us together. Okay. And if you are emphasizing about the lemons and you don't see the big picture, you are missing out on the relationships.
Yeah.
Change the emotional music. Everything you said, we said it in the clip. If you are your body language, your tone, the word that you're using have a lot of weight. So if you change the emotional music, if you're saying something really hurtful, but you're saying in a nice way, or even in a gentle way, it can really drive through differently. See the dance as the enemy, not the partner. Okay, what's happening here? It's a dance. That's something me and I agitate each other. Me and you agitate each other. It's not that I'm not okay. It's that we are doing it for us again. זה קורה לנו עוד פעם. And have self-compassion. If you got angry, if you got upset, it's okay. Don't just be with yourself about it. Don't beat yourself about it. Show no vulnerability towards the partner. And that's something that we're going to address more. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So what are some things we can do to turn some of these things around? Basically, we want to show empathy, we want to build trust, and we want to gain some support. So how do we show empathy? Through inclusion and acceptance of the opposite opinion, right? It's so easy to get stuck in your own opinion, in your own perspective. And what we really need to do is we need to step out of our own perspective and really try to see the perspective of the other person. And lots of times we're feeling really raw, right? When we've been really holding on for our partner to come home from Miluim. You guys who've just been out in the field, you've been looking forward to coming home and having a nice hot meal waiting for you and having a little bit of warmth and a little bit of compassion. And your wife might not be up for it. And it's really hard to see the other person's perspective. And each of you might be feeling that you had it harder than the other. And so it's really hard to really see the other person's perspective. So we want to invite you to do is to really try to step out of yourself and see what the other person is feeling. And we want to build trust, and we want to be able to compromise and stand by your word and build plans for the future, not just stay stuck in the here and the now, but really think about the big picture. Think about what you're really working towards and try to give warmth and touch and compliments and not hold a grudge towards one another. And of course, if you're having a hard time with this, you want to try to gain some family support, either through your family or through your group, maybe through the Miluim group of wives or husbands as well. And of course, through the professionals, through either your Mem-Pay or through people like us who are, trained to work with you guys. So what we alluded to before was that what really fuels our dynamic is our attachment style. And the attachment styles that we have, there are 4 different basic attachment styles. And these are what we grew up with, what we learned, the way that we learned how to show love and experience love from our families of origin, from our parents, right? So if we had parents that really showed us that they had our backs, then we generally would have created what's called a secure attachment. But sometimes we grew up in a family where we sometimes felt our parents were there, sometimes they weren't, sometimes it was situational, sometimes we felt manipulated by our parents. And in those situations, we developed an anxious attachment because we didn't know whether we were coming or going. And in other instances, we never felt that our parents had our backs. We felt like we had to raise ourselves. And we felt like we were really completely on our own, like our parents had us and like we were reptiles. And our parents were just like, see ya, wouldn't want to be I'll give you some food, I'll give you some clothes, but you're on your own, baby. I'm not here to give you any sort of warmth or any sort of emotional anything. And so for those of you who had that kind of experience, you would have developed an avoidant attachment style. And then there's also the disorganized attachment style, which is where basically maybe one of your parents sort of raised you so that to feel like you were on their level. And so you never really got an opportunity to really be a child and to really experience being held through, from a parent to a child. And you felt like you had to really be on the same level as the parent. And because you never had that opportunity to really be a child and to mess up like a child, then you got really confused and you sort of had this, what's called a disorganized attachment style, where you don't really know how to receive love. You don't really know how to give love. You don't even know what your needs are because it's something that wasn't ever voiced to you. And whenever you would have tried to express that to your partner or to your parents, they would have expected they would have completely ignored whatever your needs were whatsoever. Very, very few of you would have experienced a disorganized attachment styles. It's much less common than the others, but we definitely do see it in our offices as well. So I thought it'd be useful to sort of show you an example of how, sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to put the bar here so I could actually read. So I'll move it around. So basically, let's say there's a relationship trigger where, your partner might have said something that really hurt your feelings. So if you're a securely attached person, your unconscious belief about that would be that I can trust that I'm worthy of love. I understand that this is a temporary situation. This is something that we could totally repair. I know I could talk to my partner and share how I'm feeling, and we're gonna fix this up. And your vulnerable emotions would be that maybe you might have hurt my feelings, but I know that I'm safe. I know that I can handle this. And then your protective feelings would be that your discomfort is real, but I don't feel overwhelmed because I know how to self-soothe. I know how to calm myself. And then you know how to talk about it. You know how to express it with your partner because you know that you're going to be able to talk to your partner in a way that doesn't feel threatening. You're not going to be shouting at them and screaming at them and blaming them. You're going to talk about them, as we say in Hebrew, Begova Einayim. We're going to speak to them, face to face. We're going to take responsibility for our part in the argument, and you're going to be able to give them space to be able to take responsibility for whatever it was they said that might have hurt you as well. So that's the securely attached person. And then we move over to the anxiously attached person. Same trigger, right? Your partner might have said something to hurt your feelings. And so then the unconscious belief there, the anxiously attached person is, I'm not lovable. And this way that you just treated me right now, this is proof that I can't trust you. Because, if I've got a partner who doesn't really love me or care about my feelings, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to manage with that.
This is the pursuer.
This is right. And this is the pursuer as well. Exactly. And so their vulnerable emotions are ones where I feel so rejected and so sad and so alone. I'm abandoned. And I just feel like my whole world is falling apart. And so then the protective feelings that come out would be that I am so mad. I don't know how you can do this to me. My feelings are so big and so real. There's no self-soothing or self-calming there at all. And then the way that you would show that behavior, the action tendency of that person would be to show anger and indignation and blame and criticizing and protesting, right? And that would make your partner, if you're an anxiously attached person, your partner feels there's no space there to course correct there, right? And so the only thing that they can do is they can just shut up and shut down because there's no space for them to come in.
Most of us have anxiety attached persons. Like this is more likely.
More likely.
Yeah.
Definitely has the highest percentage.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So then we've got the avoidantly attached person. Same thing. My partner hurt my feelings. So the unconscious belief there is that my partner isn't happy about something. And that means that I'm a failure. I must be doing everything wrong.
This is the distancer.
And this is the withdrawer, right? The avoidantly attached person is the withdrawer. So their vulnerable emotions are, I feel rejected and I'm alone and I'm so disconnected from these feelings. It's as if they aren't there at all, right? And then you just you totally don't allow yourself to really have the feelings that you really have. And so that person, their protective feelings are that I feel mad, but I don't know, I'm just going to maybe pretend that they're not there. I'm just going to sort of avoid feeling anything right now. And one of you actually alluded to that when we asked you about how you feel when your partner goes out to Miluim. You said, I'm in denial, right? And we talked about how denial can be a really dangerous place because then that means that you're really not connected to yourself, right? And so basically your behavior might be, I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to try to appease my partner. I'm going to leave the situation. I'm going to pretend I don't care. And I'm going to be, passive. I'm just going to be passive aggressive. We're not going to really deal with this stuff. And while that might sound like a good solution because you're not getting into a fight, the danger there is you're not connecting, right? So it's better off that you actually have a little fight that you could then heal from and that you can recover from.
If you know how.
If you know how, which we'll get to. Okay. And then we got the disorganized attached person, right? So you heard this person's feelings. The unconscious belief is people can't be trusted. Nobody is safe. I'm always under attack. And the vulnerable emotions are, I feel rejected. I feel abandoned. I'm afraid. I'm in danger. And then the protective feelings are enraged, afraid, conflicted. They might be all over the place. And they might not really know how to have a direct conversation with you. They might just be shouting and screaming and doing all sorts of things, but they're not actually able to speak directly to you. And so they'll go extreme. They'll go from one extreme to the other. On the one hand, they might go really hot and really screaming and shouting, or they might pull away, or they might be doing a little bit of both. It's super, super confusing to the person on the other side. Oh.
Can you be more aligned with different styles?
In different situations. Ooh, that's a great question.
Attachment styles are something in your core, but it depends also on times.
Yeah.
Basically,
most of us really have largely a secure attachment to ourselves, but in certain situations like this, like when you had that trigger and your feeling gets hurt, that's when the core is going to come out. That's when you're going to react in one of these sort of ways.
Yeah.
And that's where you get to really see what your attachment style is, because it's when you're under threat, that's when the attachment style really is important.
As Micki said, attachment style is something that we came from the origin family. Like that's something that we learned during our formative years.
Right.
And basically, you can fix it if you have a good spouse. Like a good spouse can
A supportive spouse.
can give you more secure feelings, that you can be more secure in everyday behavior.
Right. Yeah.
So your
And-
relationship will be more secure.
Yeah, and you might have had an anxious attachment style at the beginning of your relationship, but hopefully through your relationship you'll be healing that, right? And so hopefully
Or through therapy.
Or through therapy, right? I mean, because it's not something that often happens on its own. But oftentimes these attachment styles, like if you stayed single, for instance, you might not even know what your attachment style is because you don't have that contra to really help you to see what your attachment style is, which might actually indicate that you have a very healthy avoidant attachment style, or not very healthy avoidant, a very strong avoidant attachment style, right? But for those of us who are in relationships, you should pretty well know what your attachment style is, because every once in a while, your partner's going to do something that's going to trigger you. And it's just normal to get triggered. But the thing that we need to do is we need to learn how to self-soothe that trigger. We need to learn how to communicate through that trigger. And we're going to make mistakes. We also have to realize, and this is something that Sue Johnson, the creator of emotionally focused couples therapy, she used to say this all the time. Unfortunately, she passed away last year, but she used to say that, when she and her husband, when they used to have a fight, she'd know all the theory. She creates the theory, right? But when her attachment wound gets rubbed up against, she goes back to being a little girl again, and she starts screaming and shouting at him, and she really needs to really pull herself up and calm herself down. And that's something that we all struggle with from time to time. And then it's about knowing how to really apologize and how to really acknowledge, how to
fix.
Yeah.
And
how to
Miluim,
repair.
how to repair, sorry.
How to use the repair.
How to repair, exactly.
Yeah.
The repair cycle. And we're going to address the repairing cycle. And Miluim, it's a really, adjective, כאילו זה ממש המון סטרס, כאילו.
Yeah, it's marriage on steroids, basically. It's something that none of us were trained to deal with. I mean,
כאילו ה-attachment mode שלנו ממש יוצא החוצה כל הזמן.
Yeah, exactly. It's none of us were expecting to be single parents, or none of us were expecting to not be around for a majority of our children's lives. And so, of course, it's natural that all these difficult feelings really come to the fore when we experience Miluim. It's like everything gets heightened and everything gets more extreme.
Oh.
And so that's why it's so much more important to really understand all this theory so that we can apply this. Right? So like a record player that can't get unstuck unless someone actually physically moves the arm, this stuckness can often block us from really being able to see different possibilities, from being able to be flexible, and from really believing in alternative options, right? If we don't really understand what our attachment styles are, and we don't understand how the attachment styles are fueling our dynamic, and we just say, well, this is how I am, you just have to accept me as I am, that's just not going to cut it, because your partner is probably going to feel like, well, I don't really like this. I don't really want to have to deal with this all the time, right? So we really need to be able to be flexible and learn how to calm ourselves down so we could recreate a relationship in a way that feels a lot more safe and a lot more alive and a lot more vibrant and a lot more healthy, basically. So, sorry, I was going to move this slider down. So when our ability to love is blocked, basically what we feel is we often don't see possibilities, and we just go into our shell. We feel disconnected, we numb out, we become robotic, we get isolated, and we shut down. And this is classically really what the withdrawer would experience the most. But sometimes the pursuer, after pursuing for a long time, they might feel this way too. They might feel that they've been pursuing for a really long time. And if the person on the other side isn't responding to them, then the only move that they feel that they can make is to just shut down to protect themselves, because feeling just feels too hard. Like that person that I keep on referring back to at the beginning, when we asked how it feels when your partner's going out to Miluim, and they said what did she say? She goes into denial and she just disconnects. That makes a ton of sense that she would do that. And I'm sure that's a very, very honest answer. And that's something a lot of you guys probably experience as well, because that feels like the safest possibility in that moment, because feeling just feels too hard, too impossible, it's too raw, it's too much.
Maybe some of you have questions, some of you want to to say what's happening in your situation between
And you can message us directly, so you don't
Yeah.
have to out yourselves as well.
Are you feeling disconnected? Are you numb out? Do you feel your attachment wound bursting and coming down in now after Miluim or before Miluim? Do you have any reactions about those attachment styles? We want to emphasize that the attachment styles are something that we are born to, but it's not like a bad, a good thing. Okay, it's not what we are. And we have to cope with it. We have to know our mechanic, as in way. We know what trigger us and how to align with after we are triggered. So this is basically a knowledge that it's not something that you are doomed.
It's not hardwired.
Yeah.
I mean, well, actually, that's
It's-
wrong.
it's
It is hardwired,
but it's
but
not.
it's flexible.
Yeah,
It's changeable.
you can deal with it. Yeah.
Well, we could become more healthy. I could say for myself, I call myself a recovered pursuer. Because when I first got married, oh yeah, right. Oren's also a recovered pursuer. You would never know.
I'm not recovered. I'm still in process.
Right. So basically, when I first got married, I'd get triggered by a whole lot of things. And anytime that I felt my husband would come home late from work, I would get so triggered. I'd feel so alone and feel so abandoned, and I'd feel so raw. And that guy, that poor guy, he would get an earful from me every time he'd come home, and then he'd stay home even later and later. And I didn't understand why he was pulling away even more and more, and it didn't make any sense to me. And luckily, I was able to catch the wave and understand that that really wasn't working for him.
It's not all about you.
Of course, it's not all about me,
Yeah.
but it is important. Oh, you're both pursuers with different love languages, and his acts of love and my acts. Yours are acts of service, right? So that could be challenging too, right? Thank you for sharing. So basically, you got two pursuers who that means there must be a lot of passion there, right? And so acts of love. What is acts of love?
It's physical attraction.
Oh, you mean physical? Is
Yeah.
that what it means?
Yeah.
Physical? Oh, so okay. So for one of you guys, it's physical, and for one of you, it's acts of service.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And
But
so
it's both of you pursuing, meaning that both of you feeling a bit insecure in terms of your relationships, meaning that
right.
each of you wants to feel more secure, has to have more acknowledgement. So criticism and anger are something that the other spouse is really hard to bear for him. זה כאילו יהיה לו מאוד קשה לקחת את הדברים האלו. ואז צריכים לראות איך עושים זוגיות שיש מורידים את הביקורת ומדברים בצורה אחרת ויש יותר קבלה. ויותר...
I just want to cut in there, because lots of times what happens is the pursuer feels that the way that the partner is speaking to them is critical, and that's not necessarily their intention.
Yeah, but
right.
But the partner needs to know that he is hearing it, and he has to be more accurate about what he's saying.
Right.
So if he can use more I for me.
When I hear you say X, Y, Z, that makes me feel blah, blah, blah. I feel really crappy when you tell me to take out the garbage.
Yeah.
As opposed to saying, hey, honey, how do you feel about taking out the garbage tonight? Do you feel like it? Is that something that you were hankering to do all day?
Right. It's not that if you know that also that he's a pursuer, maybe he's like an anxious attachment style. So you can understand why he's anxious. Maybe what happened in his family that he became more anxious. Maybe there was things that happened there. So knowing your past of your spouse is helping you address how you talk with him and how you take care of him differently. Exactly.
Right. So by understanding what it is that triggers you, like why is it, for instance, like using myself, I definitely felt a lot of times that my parents didn't really necessarily care about my emotional world. Right.
Yeah, me too.
And so that made me feel incredibly alone. And so when my partner isn't really, we'll get to that next question in a moment. Thank you. So when I didn't feel that my partners really, when I felt that my parents didn't really care about me, that made me feel like I really wanted to go out and find someone who's going to really be asking me questions about, my day all the time. And then when my husband wasn't doing something like that, that was really terrifying for me, because that's just not his way of doing things. Right. So it was about understanding that I had to self-soothe that and express to him that that was a need that I had.
Yaakov is on the point now.
We talked a lot about the problems. Can you talk more about the practical solutions? Yes, we're getting there. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But
we are talking about the practical solutions, because the practical solutions are understanding the practical solution, you can't just jump to the solution. You have to first understand what the problem is. And that's really why we're spending so much time really finessing and understanding, you know, who you are, right? That's the first point.
Knowledge and the knowledge who you are helping you to
That fuels.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
That really fuels, but we're gonna get there right now. Okay,
Okay.
so basically, sorry,
Another information.
a little bit more information, right? Because we also need to tie in the whole trauma piece here, because a lot of you guys are all Miluim couples, right? And so what we need to understand is we need to be able to identify what it is that you're doing, right? So if we're not able to identify what it is that you're doing, then it's not going to be helpful. So we need to understand whether you're in fight, flight, or freeze mode, and also fawn, right? So the person who's going to flight, they might be going into a workaholic state. They might be overthinking. They might be anxious. They might be very OCD, really focusing on things too much. They might have difficulty sitting still. They might be perfectionistic. They might be avoiding things that need to really get done. They might not be able to get to things. They might be hyperactive, sad, lonely. All sorts of things are happening when the person is in flight mode. And when you're in fight mode, there might be angry outbursts, controlling. You might get into bullying behavior. You might get judgmental or slam doors or self-harm. And if you're in freeze mode, you might be shutting down and feel stuck. You might be dissociating, numbing out, exhausted. You might need to sleep all the time. You might have a difficult time making decisions. And fawn, this is a new thing that is just coming online here that people are learning more about, is people pleasing. You might feel so overwhelmed and you might have absolutely no boundaries. This is something that you'd see very often with a person who has a disorganized attachment. You might be codependent, right? You might only be able to operate based on what the other person is doing and not be able to make any decisions in and of yourself. And you might be very appeasing, or you might be very self-critical, and you might take all the responsibility and not know how to divvy up the responsibility between yourself and your partner. Sorry, I'm just zooming through this because I know you guys are ready to get to, okay, this is it. This is where we're at when it comes to how do we self-soothe? How do we calm things down, right? What do we need to do in order to heal the trauma that we might have been experiencing? This is both for you guys who've been out in the field in Miluim, and also for you ladies who've been home in the you know, dealing with the kids and dealing with, you know, managing all the different things. Do you want to talk about? Yeah. Okay. So basically what you want to do is you want to really get grounded, and I'm going to invite you guys to do this right now. So you want to sit in a chair and really feel your feet on the ground, feel the back of your chair supporting you, feel, you know, your tush nice and supported. And you just want to take a few breaths, and you want to stretch out your neck. And by doing this, what you're doing is you're activating the ventral vagal nervous system. And you want to do this nice and slowly. Stretch out your shoulders as well. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hearing some cracks as I'm stretching out my shoulders. You might, yeah, you're cracked too. We're both cracking away here, right? You might want to stretch out your upper body, right? And we want to activate the ventral vagal nervous system because this helps us to feel more online. The ventral vagal nerve is the nerve that goes all the way from the tip of your head all the way down to the bottom of your stomach. And the more that you can activate your ventral vagal nervous system, the more online you could feel, the more connected you could feel with the people around you, and the more that you could feel really safe. Sorry, we have a little typo over there. But basically, you want to resource yourself. And by resourcing yourself, what that means is you want to find the things that really fuel you and nourish you. You want to listen to music. You want to dance. You want to do some gardening. You want to do some reading. You want to do whatever it is that you can that just helps you to really nourish yourself. You could do some guided imagery or dunyon mudrach, where you really just close your eyes and you imagine yourself and you're in some distant, far out place, and you really want to connect with your breath, right? And what you want to do is first, once you ground yourself, what you want to do is one way you could do that is you could put both your hands, you can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach, and you do what's called making the two L's. You turn the top one into a V. You want to do this with me, Oren, to help me demonstrate?
Yes.
You put one on your chest and one on your stomach. And what you want to do is you want to take 3 breaths in, and you want to hold it for 4, and you breathe out for 5. And we'll do that together right now. Okay, we're going to breathe in for 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold it at the top for 4. 3, 4, and out for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do this once again. We're going to breathe in for 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to hold it at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just let your breath go and keep doing that. And this is called building the healing vortex. What we're doing right now is we're building the positive, happy place inside of us. And the more that we could build that happy, positive space inside of us, the more we could just calm our nervous system down. And then once we do that, we could start to really locate the pain. We could feel safe to locate the pain. It acts like an anchor so that we could start to notice the painful feelings inside of us. We want to choose one pain at a time. And you notice that pain inside of you. It might be in your stomach, it might be in your chest, it might be in your shoulders or your back. But you just choose one pain and you just allow yourself to connect with that pain. And then you want to side-bam the pain. And side-bamming the pain means you want to notice if there's any sensations, if there's any image, if there's any meaning, behavior, or affect. And this is kind of a much deeper thing. And this, I would have to teach on a much larger scale. I'm kind of just teaching you all Katsa Mama's leg here, right on the tip of the iceberg. But basically, when you go into the pain that you're experiencing, you can actually hold the pain for a little bit and you can release it. So you want to really be able to build the healing vortex, allow yourself to really feel that, feel the positive stuff inside of you. And once you have that big bath of happiness and calmness inside of you, then you're actually able to just touch the tip of the pain and you're able to really let it go and release itself. And the more that we could really heal the trauma that lives inside of us, the more that we're able to really speak to our partners from a place of security and from a place of calmness. And the more that we're able to do that, the more we create safety in our relationship with our partners. And the more that we could feel safe, the more we could feel like that rock that our partner wants to lean on, the more that creates that feeling of connection and connectedness. And the less we feel that tension from the longing, and the more that we actually get to create the more we get to create that connection that we really have been longing for and hankering for all these months that we were away from one another.
Okay, so that was self-soothe or self-care, but we can have a corrective experience also as a couple. And what we can do is we can have in our workshop, that's basically what we did. We brought the couples together and give every couple a few like working sheets that they were doing it, and then on this progress they learn how to correct misunderstanding and miscommunication. And what we all want you to ask you now is to have, if you are here, maybe we want you to see if you can sit close to each other and maybe face each other even better and really come together. If you can hold hand or reach out and see the color of the eyes,
Look into each other's eyes.
Look into each other's eyes, see what's, gaze into it, gaze and see the other partner. So give yourself 1 minute to 2 minutes just to reach out and sit close to each other, face each other.
And take turns looking at each other's eyes, right? So like choose who's going to be the one looking at and who's going to be the one who's looked at, right? And so as the person who's looking into the other person's eyes, what I want you to imagine is just seeing that that person wants to give you all the support in the world, that they really are your safe haven, that they are your rock. They are the person that you've been holding on to in your mind for the last several months that you guys were away from each other. And just really see those eyes as that person who really wants to see you.
Okay.
And just notice what that feels like as you're looking into your partner's eyes.
So we're hoping you're in that situation and you are gazing into each other's eyes, looking deeply, maybe holding hands. And we want you to answer a question.
But first, give yourself some time, right? take 30 seconds for one of you to look at one person and then take another 30 seconds to swap.
Yeah.
And just notice what that feels like to really see and be seen by the other. Don't rush to answer this next question. It's going to be here for you.
It's really hard to do it online.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you could just raise your hands and let us know when you're done, that would be great.
And the question is, what are your hopes and dreams for our relationships? So each of you take turns and answer that questions, looking at each other's eyes, holding hands, and try to answer that question. Basically, what we are doing now is that you are understanding each other, communicating in different level, in a more attached way, in more close way. You're talking about your hopes, your dreams. You're building a bridge together now.
That's right.
And you know, the recommendation is doing one question every day before you go to sleep. Doing a question like that, it's like an apple a day. Okay, so that's an example. Let's have another questions.
How can I be a better listener when you're upset?
It's a good question.
That's an excellent question. Yeah.
So again, the answer is important, but the situation is more that the way you see it, the more you listen to each other, the more you take an interest about each other answers. If someone is saying something, ask questions, elaborate, be curious, be empathic, build a bridge. That bridge can hold you even in
Difficult
high
times.
waters. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really about constantly building and constantly knowing that you haven't arrived yet. And hopefully you'll never arrive, because you want to always feel that you're working towards something. If you feel that you've already arrived, then your relationship might feel pretty dull. And that wouldn't feel very good either. As much as on the one hand, we have this hope that we won't be arguing with our partner anymore. On the other hand, we also want to feel that the arguing is actually, it's a means of connecting to our partner. And just because you don't argue doesn't mean that you don't have a great connection. It just means that maybe you have differences, and that's totally normal. It's about learning how to argue in a way that feels safe and okay for you.
Yeah, you're going to be arguing, that's for sure. But if you have a strong bridge that you can listen and be secure, it's not going to erupt the arguments. By building the bridge is what's important. Let's do one more question.
Yep.
Why not?
Sure. Oh, what's your favorite memory of us?
Yeah, what's your favorite memory of me? Okay, going back on time. See what we were, why we fall in love.
Maybe it was your favorite first date.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a place that you visited that you learned all these new things about yourselves, about how you connect. Or maybe it's just, cuddling with each other and watching your favorite Netflix film.
I see we are dropping down on participants. I think 10 p.m. people are a bit tired.
Yeah.
But I hope that you got the connection and asking questions and being interested in each other. That's what's important here. And that was the answer for Yaakov. He asked if you're going to give us some tools. That's another tool.
Yes. The other tool is getting outside support. And so many people think that they, when they have struggles, that they could just fix this all by themselves. And lots of people tell me they've read all these self-help books and all these kinds of things, but at the end of the day, all the self-help books in the world aren't going to help because you need someone outside of you to really give you these objective truths. And sometimes when you're really in this really challenging space and you feel really, really threatened, then what you really need is you need someone from the outside to really be able to look in and really get to help you see that you really love and care about each other and that you're actually doing great. It's just that there's something that's, that you can't uncover on your own, that you need a little bit of help to sort of dig deep through. And this is something I see with the couples that, that Oren and I both see with the couples that we work with all the time, that there's a lot of fear that's blocking us from really knowing how to speak to our partners in the way that we want to. I worked with a couple just recently. They were actually a Miluim couple. And the guy said, I had a totally different vision for how I wanted to speak to my wife. I was going to be the guy who was going to be totally there for my wife and helping her make Shabbos and helping with the kids and this and that. But when my wife is absolutely acting like the Tasmanian devil on a Friday afternoon, getting ready for Shabbos, I just totally run for cover. I am terrified. Send me back to Gaza with Hamas any day. When I see my wife, that feels way more terrifying. And I just totally lose track of the kind of husband that I wanted to be. And so basically they're just needing some support to really feel safe, to really be able to be with one another. And she's feeling, when she feels her husband pulling away from her, that's when she completely pulls out all of her crazy. And she starts screaming and shouting at him, and she doesn't know another way to be around him. And so that really gets in the way of establishing the relationship that they want, because each of them have their attachment styles are getting in the way. They're rubbing up against each other. And they really need someone from the outside to just help calm them down and remind them why it is that they fell in love with each other, how they love each other, and how they can actually go back to their early fantasies about how they really wanted to connect with each other. We were going to share a story about a couple, but I think it's late, and I think we're going to probably just...
Story of Shachar and Tal?
Yeah. I don't know. You guys up for a story about another couple, or... I don't know, you want to raise your hands and, where did I think it actually disappeared. Oh no, I think it might have closed. Hang on. You guys up for a story? Should I look for it? You
Give
let
us
me know.
a
Give us a little thumbs up, hands up if you're actually, give us a sign of life here.
No answers.
Anybody at all?
This is difficult not seeing them, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anybody's here anymore.
No, there's 10.
Oh, you were raising your hands. You guys are up for the story. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry, I just need 1 second. This technical stuff is a little bit challenging. Okay, so we're going to tell the story about Shachar and Tal. Shachar and Tal, by the way, these names are made up. I chose very random Israeli names. And that picture is just a random couple that I just found off the internet somewhere. Okay, so Shachar received at Stash Shmona on October 7th, and like somebody meant his age. And for years he fought in Sanchanim, and he even received a reward for being mitztayen. It wasn't a question about whether he was going to go to Miluim for as long as was required. And initially, Tal was very proud of her husband going to Miluim, even though they had a 2-year-old rowdy boy at home and no help from parents, as one set were very elderly and the other set were living overseas. She still felt like the right thing to do was for Shachar to go off to Miluim. Tal received lots of help from different organizations and lovely, well-meaning neighbors, and this was nice for the first 5 months. However, over time, she felt that this simply was not filling that void of not having her husband home and around to help her on a regular basis. And when Shachar came home, he was agitated. All he wanted to do was get his anger out. And he feared being near his wife and his child because he was actually scared he was going to hurt them. And he would leave home frequently as often as he could. And he would go over to friends' houses and play video games and work out. And basically, he just didn't know how to be with his wife because he was so scared that his emotions would get the best of him. Tal remained patient for a while, but after a while, she started to lose it as well. And she was furious that she couldn't just, blow her own responsibilities and that her husband should just go off and do his own thing. And while she was receiving a lot of help at the beginning of the war, this help certainly didn't last, and it wasn't helpful when her child would be screaming up in the middle of the night, and especially when he wasn't even able to speak full sentences and express himself appropriately. Tal often would receive calls from her ganennet saying that her son was hitting other kids. Tal was so infuriated that she had no one else to share this with. She felt so alone, and she didn't want to share her pain with her friends because she knew that they were also struggling. She didn't want to dump on her husband because he knew that, especially when he was in Miluim, because she knew that he was dealing with his stuff. And then when he came home, he appeared to be so unavailable. So she didn't know what to do. And so many other parts of their lives seemed to be unraveling. Little seemed to connect them anymore, other than their child and their mortgage. They no longer knew how to experience fun and pleasure. They came to couples therapy about half a year into the war, after 3 rounds of Miluim. Tal threatened Shachar that if he dared to do another round of Miluim, she was going to leave him. She felt so alone and dejected. She didn't know where to turn or how to deal with her feelings. And Shachar felt completely misunderstood. He longed for physical comfort and didn't know how to emotionally connect with his wife in a way that wouldn't make her feel cheap. The relationship was at a complete standstill. So after several sessions of couples therapy, what they got to see was that they really did love and care about each other, but they just didn't know how to recreate that safe space in order to share their feelings. They learned about creating healthy boundaries for themselves where they were able to express what they were needing. So instead of Shachar just running off and playing his video games, he learned how to actually express that he was just needing a little bit of space from time to time, and he was able to negotiate these needs with Tal, and Tal was then able to say, okay, you can go off and play your video games and work out, on this day and this time. He wouldn't just do it for endless amounts of time. And by learning how to safely share their feelings with one another, they slowly learned how to renegotiate the relationship and build feelings of love and trust. And this is really a true story. And it's something that I've experienced many, many times with my Miluim couples and with other couples as well, where people just feel so terrified that, the more that they feel terrified, the more that they disconnect, and the more they stop sharing how they feel with one another. The more they stop sharing how they feel with one another, the more that they just kind of go away from each other, and the more that their relationship unravels. But the more that they can actually learn that that you both actually want the same thing, that you actually have the same goals and the same values, and remember what you loved about each other in the beginning, and really build that connection again in a safe way, the more that you can actually catapult your relationship tenfold, and really and get your relationship way much more back on course.
I think we didn't touch about the vulnerability stuff. So when they understand the way where they're coming from and why they are doing that, and they share their raw emotions and their longings, then they'll discuss in the other way. They were discussing before, but there wasn't enough depth and emotion attached to that discussion. And when you attached as EFT the emotions with the actions, so things happen.
Right. That's really where the magic happens. It's really by understanding that the reason why you're acting a certain way is because it's coming from a place of fear. Like we talked about the fight, flight, and freeze situation, right? When we are
or the pursuer or withdrawer,
or the pursuer, the withdrawer will act in one of those. Will act in one of those ways, right? So the more that we feel this terror, the more that we act on our emotions. And the more that we just act on our emotions without the full awareness. And that's why we spend so much time talking about the awareness and understanding who you are and which one you are, because without that awareness, you're just going to be acting all over the place and doing all sorts of crazy crap that you don't want to do, because that just hurts you and it hurts your partner and it pulls you further apart. So the more that you really take the time and take stock of who you are and what you're bringing and what's triggering you, the more that you understand what your trigger is, where the trigger comes from, what the trigger is sitting on, but whether you're actually able to explain it to yourself, calm that down, and to be able to share it in a safe way with your partner.
And your partner knows about it and knows why it's happening.
And your partner feels able to hold that
and
empathize and empathize and validate your feelings.
Exactly.
Right? When all of that stuff is happening, right? That's when the magic happens. But this is a really difficult thing to do on your own. So the first step is to just start to understand who you are in this game and what it is that's what's fueling these different things and what the fears are really all about. All right. And we're at the end. So thank you so much to all of you guys who bared with us and who managed to stay the course. Do we have any questions, any hot burning questions from some of the stuff that we shared? We know we threw a lot at you tonight. It was a good 2 hours that we've been with you.
Questions, comments.
Thoughts, ideas, anything. Maybe we're so crystal clear that nobody has any questions. Or maybe everyone's so exhausted.
Yeah, it's been long 2 hours.
It's been a long 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a lot of information, I think.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of information.
Oh, we have some questions.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very eye-opening. Great. Wonderful. Yes, you can get a recording. Yes, you absolutely can, because we've been recording all this time, and Nefesh B'Nefesh has been very gracious and generous to share this recording with you guys. So you guys can go and review all this stuff. Absolutely. Any other questions, thoughts, ideas, takeaways? Anything we could sharpen a little bit with you guys? Thank you. Thanks for coming.
We're going to send a questionnaire to understand
Absolutely.
what you took from what you learned, what your understanding is.
And we also want to know what's the
Tips
follow-up.
for how to repair after a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one.
Right.
You'll be first.
Ooh. So the first thing to do is to allow yourself to have some space, right? To just calm yourselves down and to know that, yes, the fight might be feeling all sorts of different emotions, but to know that you both still love and care about each other. And oftentimes the reason why you fight is because you love and care about each other so much, because couples who fight actually care a hell of a lot about each other. What worries me more is if you aren't fighting. So the fact that you are fighting says a lot about you. It says that you really love and care about each other. That's number one. But the thing is to really understand what really was fueling the fight, really help to if you guys could really go into a deep, vulnerable place where you can really share what the trigger was, help you understand what the trigger was, and help you, don't go to bed angry. That's a great question. We're going to get to that one in a second, but help you understand what is it that fueled the fight in the first place? What was it that got triggered? And help you understand what was sitting underneath that trigger, right? Maybe it was something from your family of origin. Maybe you said something that was misunderstood. Maybe she heard something that you said as criticism, but that wasn't your intention at all. You didn't mean to criticize. You were just trying to be helpful, right? But by really trying to help each of you clarify the different things that you're feeling and speaking from a soft, gentle place, that'll really help you guys to repair your relationship. And I know that sounds like an easy pill, and it's not.
I want to add in Hebrew.
Sure.
It's like 10 p.m. אז אחד זה לדעת שנייה אחת שיש לכם חמלה עצמית לזה שקרה לכם משהו. כאילו כל אחד מכם לא צריך לכעוס על זה שרבתם. להוסיף עוד רגשות על רגשות. אז אני כועס ואני כועס על זה שכעסתי. או הוא כעסתי ואני מאוכזב ממה שקרה. אז לא להוסיף עוד רגשות. אז החמלה העצמית להגיד, אוקיי, אנחנו רבנו, זה קורה. בואו נראה עכשיו איך אנחנו יכולים לעבור לשלב הבא. והשלב הבא צריך לקרוא אחרי שאנחנו שנייה אחת נושמים, עושים איזה תרגיל הרפאיה מסוים, או הולכים שנייה אחת הצידה, ואז אנחנו באים ואומרים, אנחנו מצטערים על זה שעכשיו אנחנו לא מחוברים אחד לשני, וזה לא הייתה הכוונה שלי. אני חושב שהעניין של להצטער על הסיטואציה שקרתה, היא מאוד חשובה, תוך כדי חמלה עצמית להבין שנייה אחת למה התעצבנתי. המקום שהתעצבנתי או כעסתי או התרחקתי, הוא מקום מאוד חשוב. אם אתם מכירים את עצמכם, ואתם יודעים שלכם מאוד קשה אם מישהו מבקר אתכם, או אם לכם מאוד קשה אם מישהו מתרחק מכם, אז להבין את הדבר הזה, ולהבין שנייה אחת, יש לי רגישות שלי של עצמי, ואם אני יכולה לא להשליך את הרגישות הזאת על הבן זוג שלי, ולהגיד שנייה אחת, לי קשה שאתה מתרחק ממני, כי לי זה פוגש אותי במקומות אחרים, יכול לבוא את הבן זוג להתקרב ולהגיד שנייה אחת, אני ממש מצטער, לא התכוונתי להרחיק אותך, אני מבין שזה מה שקרה. אז המקום הזה שיש לכם חמלה עצמית למקום שלכם, שהתעצבנתם, שהתרגשתם, הוא מאוד חשוב, והמקום של הזמן הוא גם משמעותי, וזה מחבר אותנו לשאלה השנייה של מה, אם ללכת לישון.
Yeah. Should you go to bed angry or not? And this is a huge debate, and I think it really depends on each of you. I know for myself personally, I'm not a late night person. I need to sleep. So So if
But
we're
just-
angry, so if something happened, we had a fight late at night. Then what I'll say is like, look, this is a really important thing. I need to sleep on it.
Mhm.
And I'll be able to wake up fresh in the morning and be able to talk about it. My husband has a different idea because he's a night owl and his brain is all fires blazing at night. And this is something that a lot of couples really do struggle with because one person's a night person and not one person's a morning person.
Don't fight when you're tired.
So, but fighting when you're tired is probably the worst
Yeah.
thing you can do.
Exactly.
I know that someone has this theory, I don't know who came up with this theory that you shouldn't go to bed angry. It's not about going to bed angry, it's about agreeing to disagree and then being able to revisit it at another time.
Decide when you're going to revisit it. So it's
Yes.
too late now.
Set a time.
Let's talk about tomorrow in a fresh eyes.
Yeah,
And then the whole situation is going to be different. If you're going to argue at 1 p.m. and 1 a.m., sorry,
it'll only get
it's
worse.
only get worse.
Most likely it'll only get worse.
So you just respond. Okay, you said, okay, it's late. Let's go to bed. Let's talk
I love
about
you
it.
very much.
Yeah.
Remind each other that you love each other very much.
Exactly.
I don't want you to be angry. It hurts me. It makes me feel sad that you feel angry. That's the last thing I want for you is to feel angry or upset. And that wasn't my intention. And I want to talk to you tomorrow
Mhm.
about how to help make this better. And when I'm fresh, I'll be in such a much better place to help you feel happy and bouncy again. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Any
So
last questions? We actually have technically 15 more minutes officially, according to Nefesh B'Nefesh.
okay. So let's see if
But,
Nefesh B'Nefesh has some last questions for us.
Any last questions?
We want
Nefesh
to
B'Nefesh?
let's thank you, Nefesh B'Nefesh, again
Yes,
for all
we
the-
cannot thank Nefesh B'Nefesh enough. That's why I put their name on most of the slides, so I can remember to
thank them.
thank them because we have to show a lot of gratitude. And by the way, gratitude is a very important aspect of all relationships. We have to show gratitude to our partners.
Go to bed. Thank you, each other.
Yes,
Is
we have to
that-
show gratitude to the Miluim guy who is out fighting for us. We have to show, and the Miluim guy has to show gratitude to his wife for holding down the home front, because both of you guys are heroes.
Yeah.
You both need to remember that. And if you'd like to contact us directly, I left the Loving Wisely WhatsApp phone number there. You can contact either myself or Oren, just let us know which one you'd like to, this happens to just be my business card we threw up there. But you could contact either one of us and we'd be happy to work with you. Also, we would love to do a couples retreat
Yeah, we're doing workshops.
and workshops.
It's different. It's different atmosphere, different experience.
It's live. And it's great. We've
It's
had a
great.
wonderful time doing them.
We
We've
can-
had a lot of wonderful couples. We got great feedback from doing them.
yeah, a lot of corrective activities.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of the magic happens.
Yeah.
Where you get to apply all this knowledge and put it into practice. So we'd love to see you guys there. We're going to send you a little questionnaire tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem, and we'll see what you're up for. All
Okay.
right. So if there are no more questions, we're just gonna say goodnight to you guys. It's been our pleasure working with you and getting to know you a little bit. And thank you so much for all your vulnerability and for sharing all your stuff with us. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the future.
Yeah, thank you for staying so late.
And thank you so much for staying so late.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Almost.
All right. Lila Tov
Bye-bye.
people, all the best. Bye.
Thank you.